Welcome to The Explainer. And wow, have we got a story for you today. We're unpacking a tidal wave of news that seriously might signal a brand new era for digital assets. I'm talking about a flurry of activity from the government, the courts, corporate boardrooms. It's all come together to create what's being called a perfect storm for crypto. So let's just jump right into that question. Because what just happened, this series of events, it might actually give us the answer. And really, it's a story about policy, it's about power, and a massive, pivotal shift in how digital money is even viewed. All right, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We're looking at 4 key things that make up this perfect storm. First, that big pro-crypto push out of Washington. Then, a huge landmark resolution for Ripple. Third, the absolute rush of corporate cash into Ethereum. And finally, we'll see how the market reacted to all this. Okay, let's start at the very top. The first, and you could argue the most powerful piece of this puzzle, it all started with some really decisive actions coming straight from the White House.
You know, what really stands out here is just the speed of it all. I mean, first, there was that order back in January about making the U.S. a leader in crypto. Then, boom, just last week, 2 huge moves on a same day, allowing crypto in 401k plans and another one to fight unfair banking practices. When you put it all together, yeah, it paints a very clear picture of a pro-crypto push. And that last order, the one about unfair banking, that's a direct shot at what the industry has been calling Operation Choke Point 2.0. The idea there was that banks were, well, systematically shutting down accounts for crypto companies, not because of some specific risk, but just because of the industry they're in. And this move from the White House is designed to put a stop to that, flat out.
This really puts the significance of this policy change into perspective. I mean, it is a sharp departure from the Biden administration's approach, which was much more cautious, right? They tended to focus on things like investor protection and the potential risks of crypto.
And listen, this shift isn't just about what's on paper. It's also about who's in the room. Putting a Bitcoin-supporting economist, Stephen Murin, on the Federal Reserve Board, that sent immediate ripples through the market. It got people thinking about a looser monetary policy, which could be great for assets like Bitcoin. Of course, you've got critics warning that this could lead to long-term inflation risks down the road.
All right, so that's the political side. Now let's switch gears and see how this momentum is also building in the legal world. This is the second major piece of the storm. It comes from the courts, where this years-long battle, a battle that honestly cast a shadow over the entire industry, has finally come to an end. $125 million. That's the number. That's the fine Ripple paid for violations with its institutional sales of XRP. Now, that's obviously a huge number. But what's really important here is that this payment marks the official end of that massive lawsuit with the SEC. And with that comes so much needed clarity for everyone. And man, has it been a long road. I mean, this lawsuit was filed way back in 2020. It just created this huge cloud of uncertainty for years. Then we got that key court ruling in 2023. Both sides finally agreed to drop their objections. And now, here we are in 2025, and the whole thing is officially over. For so many people in the crypto space, this is just a massive deal. And check this out. The domino effect was immediate. As soon as that lawsuit was behind them, Ripple wasted 0 time. They went right out and acquired the payments platform Rail for $200 million. That's a direct strategic play to get bigger in the stablecoin market. It just goes to show you how much that legal fog was really holding him back. So this newfound clarity, it's not just about Ripple. It's sending this powerful signal out to the entire corporate world, basically saying, hey, the coast is clearing up for some major investment. And that brings us to the third part of our perfect storm, a massive corporate rush into Ethereum. I mean, just look at this number, 521,939 ETH. That's how much SharpLink Gaming is holding. It makes them the second biggest institutional holder out there. This isn't just, a small side bet. This is a huge commitment. It signals a fundamental change in how corporations are thinking about their treasuries. And it's really important to understand the why behind this. The strategy is called building an infrastructure reserve. So what does that mean? It means companies like SharpLink aren't just gambling on the price going up.
No, they're actually integrating ETH as a core, foundational piece of their long-term financial and operational plumbing. It's part of the machinery now.
And make no mistake, this is not an isolated incident. We see it right here. SharpLink is raising hundreds of millions for its ETH reserves. You've got Fundamental Global looking to potentially scoop up as much as $5 billion worth. Even established players like Chainlink are now taking their service revenues and turning them into their own token reserves. This is, without a doubt, a sector-wide trend.
Okay, so you have all this incredible news coming from Washington, from the courts, and from corporate HQs. The big question is obvious, right? How did the market react? Let's take a look at the immediate price action.
Well, the reaction was pretty swift, and it was positive. XRP, which was obviously the direct beneficiary of that lawsuit ending, jumped 5%. And Bitcoin, feeling good about all the pro-crypto policy news and that Fed appointment, it saw a solid 2% gain. It just goes to show you the market was definitely paying attention. So this is a snapshot of where things are sitting right now. And yeah, the prices are interesting, but what traders are really watching are these key support and resistance levels. You can think of them as the lines in the sand. They're what's going to tell us if this new momentum has legs or if it's just a temporary bounce.
So it all brings us back to that one huge question. When you take a clear top-down push from the government, you combine it with the end of a defining legal fight, and you add in a flood of serious corporate money, you just have to ask, is this it? Is this the actual tipping point, the moment where digital assets finally stop being on the fringe and move right into the very core of our financial system? I guess the next few months are going to be very, very telling.